guys, I'm Aussie and welcome to episode 36 of The First Star with Everton. Our bid, of course, to win the Champions League with the club for the first time. And today it's a cup special. We have the second leg of the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup semi-final against Newcastle. We hold a narrow lead going to their place, so hopefully we'll be able to get the job done there. And then we play Leicester City at home in the FA Cup fourth round. And again, we'll just see if we can get the job done there. Now, since last episode where we had a disastrous festive fixtures, and I almost, well, I did kind of lose it a little bit, didn't I? I was really, really annoyed at that. We've rebounded well, to be honest. The first game after that disaster was the FA Cup fourth round. Our third round against Scunthorpe. As you would expect, we did dominate them. Pennington, Sergio Gomez with a double, and Canente rebounded from that horrible red card with a goal as well. Match ratings tell the story there, don't they? Absolutely smashed them, as you would expect, though, because they are, I think they're a League 1, maybe a League 2 team. Then we had the first leg of the EFL Cup semi-final. And to be honest, we were playing really well in this game. Selke and Vladic gave us a 2-0 lead. Then we conceded a stupid, silly goal from a set piece. And it just kept the tie alive for them. So that was not ideal. But, you know, we're still in a good position, aren't we? Then we played West Ham at home in the league. And we looked really comfortable in this game. I don't like playing West Ham because they're a team that can give you troubles. But Calvert-Lewin and Seamus Coleman in the 89th minute capped it off for us. You can see from player ratings, we were comfortable. I would have rather a second goal before the 89th minute. But, you know, we got it and we got the 3 points. Then we played Watford away. This was a really bad poor half. We conceded two. I think they were both from set pieces. 2 goals. David Luiz's own goal was an absolute bullet header. I don't know what he was thinking, but wrong end, Mr. Luiz. But we got back into it after half-time. Bernard and Foden, I thought we might actually go on and win it. There was still about half an hour to go, as you can see, when Foden got his goal. But it wasn't to be. We hung on, and in the end, coming from 2-0 down, a point's not too bad. Then we played Southampton in the league, the final game before this episode started. This was a horrible start. Second minute, Stuart Armstrong gave Southampton the lead. You can see John Joe Kenny had an absolute nightmare, but the rest of the team rebounded well. Terry Cook equalised for us a few minutes later. Lookman and Vladic gave us a 3-1 lead before half-time. And then it was just a matter of seeing it out in the second half. And again, player ratings, aside from John Joe Kenny, they tell the story there. We were much the better team in the end. Let's have a look at what all this means for the league table. You can see we're still roughly where we were. Unfortunately, we're in fourth. We're relatively comfortable. I'm not going to go like I did last episode and say we're going to get fourth and then lose 2 games in a row. But we're relatively comfortable there right now. It's going to be tough to catch, I think, the teams above us. Maybe Manchester City, but Arsenal have a game in hand. It's going to be tough to catch them. It's looking a little bit like fourth, isn't it? Nothing has changed since last episode in that respect. Now, let's go and have a look at the team that we are sending out to face Newcastle here. Hopefully it'll take us to Wembley. It is Rajkovic in goal. We've given up on Pickford for now, but I'll sort of explain more of that as the game goes on. Robertson, Pennington, Luiz and Coleman. Not our strongest defensive back four, but we have a lot of fatigued players from recent games, so that's sort of the fittest available to us. Drinkwater and Sergio Gomez, they go in midfield. Rafinha, Foden and Bernard in behind. Terry Cook up top. Where's Davy Selke, you ask? He's sick. He's not sick, he's injured. He is he's out for 3 weeks with a calf strain. So he's out for this episode. Tom Davies as well. He had a virus. I think it was a cold or virus. He should be okay for the Leicester game, but not for this one. And obviously, we know Nicola Morrow is a long-term injury. Did I say this goals a month in this episode? I can't remember, but there is if I didn't. And if I did, I've repeated myself, so I'm sorry. Let's have a look. What do we want to say here? There's no pressure. Go to give the fans money worth. Pick up where you left off. I expect us to come back as finalists. Is that a little bit too much pressure? I don't think it. I mean, we've got to have some expectation here. It is a semi-final, so we want to do well here. Now, there is a little bit, obviously the transfer window has opened now that we're in January. There's a little bit to report. First of all, Nick Stark has come under the interest of Paris, which is a problem because he wants to go there. I kind of told him that, don't go anywhere. We'll strengthen the squad so we can compete with them. Which is what I'd love to do. We don't have the money to do that, unfortunately. Let me get this away, please, boys. Had that away from Pennington. So we may have a problem with Nick Stark in that I've lied to him. There's Rafinha on a great run. Can he square it? He can. Bernard! That is a counter-attacking goal of the highest order. It's like seconds after they took their corner. Bernard's putting it into their own net. What a goal from Rafinha and Bernard, our 2 Brazilian wingers. Well, we have 3, don't we, with Carlson as well. But this was absolutely stunning. Good run from Bernard too, wasn't it? He opened up the space, drew in the defender. Great first touch and couldn't miss from there, could he? 1-0, 3-1 on aggregate. Do we have a foot in Wembley? Not yet. Not yet. If I learned anything from last episode, it's to stop counting chickens. Yeah, so that's Nick Stark. I am trying to strengthen. I did try to bring in a player to sort of replace. He's still at the club, Barrios, but to kind of replace him. The guy ended up going to Manchester United. But to be honest, I don't think we could have afforded him anyway. It was 45 million transfer fee, and I think he wanted like 200 grand a week on wages or something. He's a really good player. I forget, Eda Melito or something. I'm not sure if he's a regen or if he's an actual player. It's a good ball by Foden, but just couldn't quite find Terry Cook there. Ball goes forward, but Luis is there. That's a bit of a crunching tackle on Sergio Gomez, but it's fallen for us. Rafinha's off again. Rafinha, ball for Bernard! Rafinha and Bernard. That surely now is Wembley, isn't it? That is surely Wembley, and our two Brazilians have put us there. Great goal yet again by the two of them. That was a crunching tackle. I mean, it's a yellow card. It's bordering on an orange card, that one, isn't it? Great ball from Rafinha. What a pass. And there we go. Yeah, so I'd still like to get rid of Barrios. I think he's more trouble than he's worth. He got us to the Champions League final last year, which is fantastic. I was really happy that he did that. This year he's been nothing but a nightmare. Just complaining, not playing well. So I'm ready to get rid of him. What else has happened? Bernard has signed a new contract, so I'm hoping that is now any talk of him leaving put to bed, because I think it was a 3-year deal. It takes him till he's 31. So, can we get another one? Ramos is bouncing around. Rafinha deserves a goal. If anyone deserves a goal, it's Rafinha. Pennington curls one in. Foden just over the bar. Yeah, so that's Bernard, hopefully. I mean, if he gets annoyed again, we've got him on the lot. We don't have to worry about him running out his contract or anything like that. So that's good. We did have... Oh, it's there. It's Pennington. How's he missed that? Pennington. Dude, come on. We did have a bid coming actually from Newcastle for Calvert-Lewin. It was like 30-odd million. It was a lot of money for Calvert-Lewin. I was going to accept it. The problem is that right now, we, as a first team strikers, we have Davy Selke, Calvert-Lewin, and Terry Cook. Henry Okunkuru can play up front. We've seen him get goals for us, but he's more of a winger, I think. What do we say? I think it's just got to be can we just do an assertive, don't get complacent. So I didn't really want to... excuse me, I got a frog in my throat. I didn't really want to sell him without being able to replace him, and to replace him with someone of similar quality, sort of a 3.5 star player, it was going to cost more than that 30-odd million, and then we've got to pay the wages, and Calvert-Lewin isn't on ridiculous wages right now. So I had to reject it, not because I particularly think Calvert-Lewin is, the best thing that has ever happened to us and we can't go forward without him, just simply because we couldn't really replace him. If we look here, he's valued at 60 million, which is a lot, but he's only on 34 grand a week. He has the good physicals. He has a good, excuse me. Can we go again from a counter-attacking goal? Bernard's away. He has good the physical presence as well, which we don't really have outside of Selke. Can Foden get a goal? Phil Foden! That is a strike from the heavens by Phil Foden. And that is now Wembley, isn't it? We're 5-1 up on aggregate, 3-0 on the night, and Phil Foden with a goal of the season contender right there. Another goal from the counter-attack. We've been absolutely ruthless. This one not perhaps as flowing, but that's a wonderful strike from Foden, isn't it? Well done to the young man. We'll give them some praise now. They've earned that. And now we can probably start looking at... Do we want to rest anybody? I'm wondering if we want to... who do we want to rest here? I don't... There's no one... Maybe one of the wingers. Maybe... We look to take... Rafinha deserves a goal. Oh, Rashkovic. It's a good strike, isn't it? We just want to be a little bit careful here. We don't let them back in. They need, 3 more goals. So it's unlikely, but we don't want to give him a sniff. Speaking of Rajkovic, actually, I'm trying to resolve the... It's a good strike, isn't it? I don't think we can blame the keeper for that one. I'm trying to resolve the Pickford issue, because he wants to leave. He's unhappy with me. He's on 150 grand a week. It needs to be resolved, basically. So I've offered him out 60 million. We're not offering any wage contribution. I've just done that. So the only team interested in him is Fulham. I guarantee you Fulham can't afford 60 million plus those wages. We can't afford those wages, really, if I'm honest. I just signed it to try and keep him happy, but then, he was still unhappy because I'd broken a promise about offering him a new contract. When I offered him a contract, we've been over this before, I offered him a contract, he rejected it. So, yeah, I want to get that resolved. If we get him out the door, I don't know if I want to bring somebody in to be a number one or just someone to compete with Rajkovic. Because Rajkovic is a good goalkeeper. He's still a 4-star goalkeeper. Okay, let me show you. So there's no desperate need to replace. I would like to keep Pickford, and he would be our number one if we can do that. But if he's just gonna sit there, complain, and not play well, some games he seems to be just letting goals in for fun at times. Not the best header there from Louise. It's going to come back. We get it clear second time through Pennington, and can we? Oh, Bernard's nicked that. Can we go again here? It's been a longish highlight, so there might be something in this for us. Rafinha. Off he goes again. What a game he has had. Rafinha, he squared it to nobody. And again, this long highlight continues. And if they score here, I will be getting nervous. There's men in the middle. They can't not score. Alright, we're going to be more disciplined now. They've ruined their fun, basically. You can't go and just play like you're having a time in the park now because you've ruined that for yourselves. They still need to, so it's unlikely, but we are undoing a little bit of our good work here late in this second half. Let's see what happens from there. If they were to score now, then I would get nervous. Considering the halftime talk was don't get complacent, I'm going to be annoyed, I'm honest. That's another good ball from Rafinha, but just couldn't quite find anybody. Yeah, guys, let's just lower this tempo too. We don't really need to be doing this. We just need to pass the ball, keep possession. Alright, drink water. What have you got? That's the sort of pass we want. That's a good ball out for Coleman. Coleman goes early for Bernard. Can he square it to somebody? Anybody? Rafinha gets his goal, and that is the most deserved goal this season, I think. He's been absolutely magnificent. Only his third goal of the year. But he doesn't half get a few assists to go with it. And that now is Wembley. That 100% is now at Wembley. Good ball from Coleman, wasn't it? Early in, found Bernard in acres of space, and that is a tap-in. That is as easy as a tap-in gets. Yeah, we will continue with those changes because I don't fully trust us, if I'm honest. All right, here we go. Gomez, ball in. Terry Cook. Be good for the youngster to get a goal. When Terry Cook has attracted the interest of Arsenal. He's not going anywhere, obviously, but it's nice to know you want it, isn't it? And that is a good goal from Matt Ritchie. We are falling asleep at the end here. Our defence has not pleased me whatsoever. We'll give it a tighten up. Yeah, I mean, it's 2-on-2. We might need to look at doing a little bit of defensive shape work, I think. It's a good finish. Could Rajkovic have stuck a finger up and got it round the post? Possibly. But, I mean, if we look at this, it's been sort of the middle three, isn't it? It's been Foden and our two Brazilians that have taken us to Wembley here because the rest of the team hasn't been good. But yeah, we've got the job done. 4-3. It's been a bit of a goal fest, which is... We all enjoy a goal fest, don't we? Especially when we win them. And it's been a relatively safe goal fest because we've had an element of comfort about it, but that late defending in there was not the best. It's going to have to be am I harsh? It's a Jekyll and Hyde performance. Yeah. So there we go. We've got to Wembley, but I don't necessarily think we've done it in any sort of style at all. But we did score some nice goals, didn't we? But anyway, guys, wait right there. We'll be back. It's Leicester City in the FA Cup. Can we go one step closer to a double Wembley trip? Alright, guys, welcome back. It is time for the FA Cup. We're in some good form here, aren't we? But we do have some tied legs in the squad, I'm not going to lie. So we have to rotate things a little bit once again, and this is the team that we have. It's Rajkovic in goal, despite my better judgment. We are actively trying to sell Pickford, as I said, so don't necessarily want him in the team right now. Digne, Stark, Stuart Taylor gets a start as well, with John Joe Kenny at right back. It's Berg and Davies in midfield, Richarlison, Vlasic and Lookman. It's all change up front, with Calvert-Lewin leading the line. Now, I think I said there was a goals of the month after this game. I lied. There is not. I don't know what I'm talking about. We're still sort of mid to two-thirds of the way through January. So goals of the month for January will come next episode. Yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm absolutely frazzled my brain today. It's a miracle that we won that first game, and who knows what could happen here. What do we say? Go out there, play your game, you'll win. You are very capable of that. Like that. Hopefully we'll be a little bit better defensively this time around. Yeah, and if we can do that and keep scoring some goals, then we should be fine. But, yeah, we need to look a little bit better defensively. But with Stuart Taylor back there, anything's possible. I should say, too, all this talk of Terry Cook and Stuart Taylor, if you do want to have one of the Academy regens named after you, just let me know in the comments, and I'll look to get that done as soon as possible for you. Or at Aussie Villain on Twitter as well. You can get me there. Alright, let's see what we can do here. I'm looking for a good performance from Tom Davies. He has been horribly off form sort of since outside the first sort of month or two of the season. Here's Lookman on his right foot. Lookman! Oh, what a goal that would have been! A decent save from, I'm assuming it's still Kasper Schmeichel in goal. It may not be. But a good save from the Leicester keeper, whoever it is in there. Stuart Taylor, is that a penalty? No. He's jumped into him. That's okay, though. That's okay. We'll allow that. It is Kasper Schmeichel in goal. All right, another chance here. Vlasic! Oh! Nikola Vlasic! How has he done it from that angle? I don't think Kasper Schmeichel will look back on that with any great pride, but that's not our problem. It was a really, really good free kick from that position. Let's have a look here from behind the goal. How has he done that? I tell you what, it's not bad, is it? Maybe 50% keeper fault, 50% brilliance on that one. Let's give it a get creative. Let's see if we can keep this going. In terms of in between games there with transfers, as I said, we're actively trying to sell Pickford right now. It's only Fulham that's interested in him, and Fulham cannot afford him, so that could be a problem. I'm looking to strengthen the squad if I can to try and keep Stark happy, because I really don't want him unhappy. Oh, it's a good strike for Maddison, and it's 1-1. Yeah, so I'm trying to strengthen the squad. The problem, it's just we have a transfer budget right now of 26 million, give or take. It might be 24. It's no more than 26. God, the keeper have done better there as well. And we're pretty much at our wage limit. So to strengthen properly, we really need to sell to free up both transfer money. Oh, it's almost again from Vlasic. And it's the wages that are the problem. Because I've sort of looked at a left back, or a couple of left backs to try and strengthen for sort of in behind Digne, sort of to rotate with him. And we can do transfer or wages pretty much. We can't do both. Here's a chance here, Richarlison. Good run from Richarlison! Not have to finish there. So yeah, it's a little bit of a problem that we have right now. And I don't know if we're going to be able to do anything, I'll be honest. Which means we might annoy Stark, which means we might actually end up losing Stark. Rajkovic is not... He's not covering himself in glory here, is he? Demand more. I mean, it's a powerful effort, isn't it? But it's very, very savable. Maddison again. I mean, it's straight at him. Okay, so what can we do here is the question, isn't it? Let's give it another get creative. We're dominating the game. They've had 3 shots the whole game, and they've scored 2 of them. Let's try. We'll wait and see if we can get something back from the corner here. Vlasic, it's a decent ball in, but it is headed away. Richarlison picks it up, gets it back in. Are we going to get counter-attacked here? Vardy has the ball. We might just need to take him out there if he can, please. Number 6, I think that's Berg. He hasn't. He's letting pass it in field, and that is now 3. Oh, the FA Cup may not be going to Everton this year. Just gonna throw that out there. We have looked horrible defensively, haven't we? We'll give it another demand more, but I don't know what else to do here. Just so much space in midfield. I mean, we've been unlucky. I'm going to throw it out there. Rajkovic has not covered himself in glory, but we've essentially dominated the game. We are really, really missing Selke up top, aren't we? We don't really look like getting anything from our strikers. I'm going to say unlucky. That's got a really good reaction, actually. I think the other thing we might look to do here is we might look to play Calvert-Lewin as a pressing forward. Try and win that ball back if we can. Is there anything else we want to do? We need goals, don't we? Let's Yeah, let's see how we go. I'm wondering, we have Canente on the bench, and he's a good creative player. Would be a problem of, do we bring him on for Sanderberg or do we bring him on for Tom Davies? Yeah, it's difficult to know that one. They are passing it around just a little bit for fun here, aren't they? Can we get... We can't get anything in that. Come on, boys. Let's give it a get creative and see what we can do. I don't like having an anxious goalkeeper. If we can get a goal back nice and early here, then it's game on, isn't it? That's... Oh, it's there! It's always missed it! It's there finally! Thank you! I had flashbacks to Davy Selke last episode, but Calvert-Lewin, second time of asking after blasting it off the post. He has managed to tap it home the second time. It was last episode, wasn't it? Davy Selke did that. Horrible. It was against Spurs, wasn't it? Because it was Dele Alli that did the pass. It was almost a carbon copy, but this time we've managed to score it. And can we this time go on and get a result? We did really need that, didn't we? That puts us back in the game. Are we exploiting the flanks right now? We are. Madsen with the corner in. We need to get that away. It's a good save from Razkovic that time. That's a really good save. And Lookman could be away, but we'll never know. Again, from the corner. I'll get that. Oh, we're not particularly looking but solid from those set pieces, but it's okay. It's okay. They haven't scored, so we're still in this. Carlson's not having his best game. We do have Rafinha on the bench. After what he did against Newcastle, we'll look to bring him on. We're going to play... I don't know what to do with Tom Davies. We are going to bring on Canente for Berg, though, and get a creative player on the field. Taylor and Kenny and Digne as well. The defence isn't having their best games. We'll give it a... What do we... We'll give it a get creative again. We do have one more sub to make. I'm not sure if this goes to a replay. Oh, it's a red card for Madison. That helps our cause, doesn't it? That massively helps our cause. All right, we want to play with more width now. We might keep that the same. We might try that higher line now as well and try and put some pressure on them, not give them a chance. Come on, boys, demand more here. Let's demand more. Oh, this is a really good chance all of a sudden, isn't it? After that first half performance, we do not deserve a chance, but we have got one. Tom Davies, can he wind back the clock? No, he cannot. Rafinha! Oh, Rafinha can't do it either. We need a goal. Goal difference doesn't matter. It's a cup game. All right, we're going to go 2 up top. We're going to bring on... Who do we bring on here? What do we do at the back? You know what we're going to do? We're going to take off Stuart Taylor. We're going to take off Stuart Taylor for Terry Cook. Should we get this goal and want to hang on to something, we're going to be in all sorts of trouble. But we don't have that problem right now. We want that problem, but we don't have it. So we are all out attack right now. This is literally all we have. Come on, boys. Come on. Oh, it's not going to happen. 20 seconds. I don't think there's time. Get it in the box. Canente goes across field. It's intercepted by Zappacosta. And that is that. We didn't deserve anything after that first half performance. And we don't get anything either. I think we're a little bit unlucky. 15 shots on target. Our finishing wasn't at the quality required, was it? I'm not happy with that. And yeah, that pretty much sums it up. Made to rue missed chances. It's particularly disappointing given that it was at home. I would have really, really liked to have won that game. But yeah, that is it for today though, guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed that, please do hit thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. And make sure you're subscribing and ring the bell. We will be back tomorrow. We're going to come straight back. I think not tomorrow. What day is it today? It's Thursday. We'll be back on Saturday. for a Merseyside derby, basically. We'll warm up against West Brom, and then we will go out against Liverpool at home. And any chance there is of us winning the league, we have to beat Liverpool, don't we? Because it's already an 11-point gap. So it's ambitious, but you never know. You never know what we could do. And then we're warming up now. We have Real Madrid in the Champions League, of course, and then we have an EFL Cup final to look forward to as well. So disappointing to go out of the FA Cup, but not a complete waste of an episode. We did get to Wembley one way or another. So until Saturday, guys, I've been Aussie Villain. Thank you so much for watching. Take care.